The Wildcats desperate for a three-pointer.
Yeah,
and we've got a foul.
Wildcats desperate for a road win. That's what they're desperate for heading into Eugene, Oregon today, where they will take on the Oregon Ducks in the back end of this road swing that takes us up to the Oregon Trail. 3:30 is the tip-off today. We are with you here on the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show until 2:30. I'm David Kelly. Pleased to be joined by you. Also pleased to be joined by my guys. We got Kelvin Efon. We got J.W. Madden. We want to hear from you today on this program. Number to get in is 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 with your thoughts on the current state of this Arizona Wildcats men's basketball team, a basketball team that has now lost 3 straight conference games on the road and trying to get back off the schneid. It's a Arizona team under head coach Tommy Lloyd that has never lost back-to-back games before. They are 15-0 when losing games, or when after losing a game, 15 straight wins for Arizona. Can they continue that trend and make it 16 in a row today? It's going to be difficult because it's coming in a place in Eugene, Oregon and Matthew Knight Arena where the Wildcats have not won in quite some time. 6 straight defeats for Arizona in this building. Let's tell you a little bit about what we've got in store for you over the course of the next 3 hours of this morning and afternoon.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, we'll take a look back at the loss at Oregon State on Thursday night, 83-80 on a last-second shot by Jordan Pope. You will hear from the young man that hit that shot to beat the Wildcats. Our view from courtside, we're going to switch it up and talk some women's basketball today. Charlie Turner-Thorne, the former coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, now an analyst for the Pac-12 Network, will join us coming up in this half hour. We'll preview the Oregon Ducks coming off a win over those said Sun Devils. Spotlight on the Cat will be Keyshawn Johnson. We'll get his perspective on the loss in Corvallis. Best bets today, Arizona. This is one of the smaller lines we've seen in a while. Arizona just a 3.5 point favorite over the Oregon Ducks. Again, 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. It did not end very well in Corvallis on Thursday night.
Inbound pass to Pope, 10 seconds to play, 1 timeout remaining. Pope into the front court. Beavers could win it with a hoop. Pope goes left. Jordan, a step back 3 for the win. Good! He hit it, and the Beavers win. The fans stream onto the court at Gill Coliseum. Final score on Jordan Pope's miraculous 3 as time runs out. The Beavers 83, the 9th-ranked Arizona Wildcats 80 in a classic at Gill. What a ball game.
Well, it was indeed a classic, another buzzer beater. There have been a few for the Beavers over the Wildcats over the years, and who knows when Arizona will return to Gill Coliseum, but that was the final time for a while, and it is going to be a memorable final ball game for the folks up there in that part of the country, beating Arizona 83-80 at the buzzer. After the game, the young man that hit that shot, Jordan Pope, and his head coach, Wayne Tinkle.
It feels amazing. I put a lot of work in, my whole life. I'm in the gym a lot. So to see the results come and see the work pay off, definitely is an amazing feeling, and on our home turf with the crowd into it against a ranked team, there's no better feeling I couldn't ask for any other way.
We're learning some valuable lessons, and tonight was a good one. When they play the way they're capable for 40 minutes and really play off of each other and share it and fight, which we didn't do last Saturday against a very good Colorado team. This is what we were capable of, and we pulled it out.
Yeah, Oregon State came into that game with just one victory in conference play. Now make it 2 after they knock off the Wildcats and the fans storm the floor. Tommy Lloyd on that last shot sequence.
Well, we had a good defender on him. I knew he was going to get a shot, and, I was just worried. We've been fouling so many three-point shooters. It's tough, and I don't get the luxury of seeing if they're fouls or not, so I have to trust that they are. And my biggest hope was we didn't foul. I thought he was going to go down and shot fake and then, put us in a situation where we foul, because he did that a little bit earlier at the key shot. So he hit an incredible shot. I wish the game would have got to overtime and we could have seen, if we could have got over the top, but we don't get that opportunity.
It seemed like KJ was in a decent position, not going to foul him, but defending him.
Yeah, I think it was a contested 3, yeah. And it's tough. To the advantage goes the offense in that situation. It's a tie game, so if you make it, you're a hero. If we make a mistake defensively and you get fouled, you're probably going to win. So they had to the offense goes the advantage in that late clock scenario. And we just we're hoping the ball would have bounced off the rim and we could have lived and seen another day.
Yeah, Pope was saying in there something that they were trying to get action going on the other side so he'd get freer. But was that?
Yeah, whatever. We had a good one-on-one defender on him, and however you want to slice it up, a good player made a great shot.
That indeed, a good player, a very good player, made a very good shot for his team. Fellas, this is going to be an interesting Saturday in Oregon, and in Eugene specifically, because it is not a place that the Wildcats have played particularly well in recent memory, and they got to try to find a way to get off this losing stretch on the road.
Yeah, it's that's a tough one, man. Losing to Oregon State right there. You love to get that split. You love to get that first game out the way, but losing that game was a tough one. But again, you got to move on, and you haven't won in Oregon in a while, but it's still a challenge. And I always say these guys come here for a challenge. They come here to play the teams like Oregon, and I'm excited to see how they wake up and how they come back from losing a game like this to Oregon State.
Yeah, it's been, 10 years? Something like that. I just think Dana Altman's a great coach, and I think they always bring in quality players up there, always a very athletic team. It's a tough place to play because the fans always get into it. Altman's a great coach, and you're right. You really want to get that first leg of that sweep, especially against a team that's only got the one Pac-12 win going into that game. Tough loss there at the end. A big shot by the young man. So you just got to, forget. You got to have a short memory. You got to go into Eugene, and you got to try to pull out a win tonight against the Ducks.
Keyshawn Johnson after the ball game applauding the Beavers and the shots that they made down the stretch.
They made a lot of shots, they made more than they average for the year. But that's just the price we got to pay wearing that Block A on our chest. People going to come out and have hell of a game. So just kudos to them. They made a lot of shots. It's a couple of plays where we could have did something a little different to probably change the narrative of the game. But things happen.
Hey, let me say something. What I heard there is he's starting to recognize. He's one of the seniors on the team, and he's recognizing how people come after you when you got that Block A. He said it. When you got that Block A on your chest, people are going to really come after you. And so with that being said, I just think that these guys are going to have to come together and realize that, first of all, they got to band together on the defensive end of the court, man. That's where it all happens. That you have to lock up better. 83 points. There's no way Oregon State was scoring like 60, 70 points. So you got to lock them down right there. And then just secondly, man, we got to be able to get our Barlow and Boswell going a little bit better there.
And Tommy Lloyd, after the ball game, said that he thought that this team played defensively well in the first half, but the second half was a much different story.
I thought we had opportunities to take control of the game. We just didn't take enough advantage of that. And, when you play on the road and let a team kind of hang close, you're playing with fire. And, they were able to control that game in the second half with a little bit of their tempo. And You know, and they made some tough plays at the end of shot clocks, and we probably had some regrettable fouls at the end of shot clocks. I mean, those games come down to those things.
Did you feel like I know you don't like to compare games, but like, did it remind you of Stanford at all, where they hit those, or this was different? I mean, in that sense.
Bruce, I just lost to Oregon State on the road. They played their ass off. Tinkle's a great guy. I got no comps for you.
I'll say this, fellas, like the one
No comps.
The one comp you can make is you leave open shooters. And they get confidence early against Stanford, against Oregon State. Same thing happened. So some of those late shot clock shots out of their minds. I mean, some of those shots that Oregon State hit, especially down the stretch of that game, you just got to tip your cap. Great shots, good defensive pressure. However, leaving open shooters, Kelvin, earlier in that, especially in that second half, can lead to instilling confidence in some of those shooters along the way.
Well, you know what's happening is it's coming down to where you're gonna have to play everybody like they're great shooters. Because they were game planning that those guys wasn't going to – I mean, you said it yourself the other night. Those guys hadn't made threes. Mm-hmm. So why would I game plan to be on those guys? I mean, now, when they make a few shots, of course we adjust and we got to do something to stop those guys. But we all know, and Coach knows this as well, once people get going at home, it's hard to slow them down. The crowd is going crazy. They're hyped up. So there's something that they're still learning about each other. They're learning that, you know what, we might not be able to game plan – leaving anybody open.
It's like game winning.
It caught us last year with Utah. Remember, we that was the first time we did the drop defense after coming back from Hawaii, and then the kid went off and hit threes that he had never hit before. He had never hit before, right? And all of a sudden, he became a three-point shooter. The big man out there became a three-point shooter after that. So I just think when it's coming down to it, what they're learning, DK, is that, you know what, we can't do our turn the back double team, and we can't leave anybody. We can't. We have to respect everybody, because people. You have to expect that people are going to play out of their mind, as he said, when they see the blockade.
It's like playing poker. You know, it's like you play the numbers, right? You're playing against the percentages of what potentially could happen, and you're looking at a guy who's shooting 22% from three. We're going to go ahead and give him maybe 5 feet of space or whatever. Yeah. But hey. That's not, especially in that gym, Kelvin, especially in your own gym. You know those rims, you know what's going down. So a couple of those shots go down, and then feels like everyone that they let go is going in.
That's where sometimes the stats fail you, right, DK? you look at them stats. I remember I used to coach at high school at Pueblo, and I did Sunnyside like that. I said, guys, let all these guys shoot. Every one of them hit a three. Every one of them hit a three. And I was like, I had to tell the guys, man, that's me. I'm sorry. I thought we had to cover Mikey. Anybody know Mikey Silver?
Oh, yeah, Mikey Silver,
we had to cover Mikey. I couldn't let Mikey kill us.
No.
So you had to double and triple him, because he had lost all those other big guys that he had. So it was only Mikey. I said, all right, we're going to put everybody on Mikey. And it just cost us, and that's what's happening here. You have to go back and readjust and try to switch the game plan, but now guys are making shots that you're like, man, he only took 8 shots on the year. He took 8 in this game. Yeah.
And we'll hear the head coach talk a little bit about that coming up a little bit later in the show. And in particular, he's going to get into the big guys. The Wildcats are getting burnt by some of the bigs on the perimeter. 3s and 4s and 5s stepping out and being able to knock down some threes, and how they're getting those open looks. And one of the things that I'm noticing, guys, just going back and watching a little bit of the tape, is I think this team is, at times, they defend extremely well for the first 35 seconds or so, but it's that last 10 seconds where, especially in this last game, you saw late fouls.
Or last half second.
Yeah, you saw late fouls, and you just also saw them get picked at the end and drop into the lane, multiple defenders dropping into the lane and not out on shooters on the perimeter.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just tough. Like I said, you go into these games with game plans, and you think that you put the time into it, you put the scout into it, you watched all the film and tape, and you think you got it, and just, again, guys play out of their mind. So, yeah, I mean, I hate to say things happen like that, man, but they do. But that adjustment, again, is just, I think the guys, that adjustment is going to be on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. That adjustment is going to be with that, and as you was talking about late shot clock, as a coach, you hate to be in late shot clock, because usually after 3 passes, you know what usually happens? A turnover.
Yeah.
In real college basketball, usually a turnover. So those shots they were getting was challenged. They were tough late. And so you tip your hat. That's all you could do there. I mean, really. I mean, and then the only other adjustment I said again is everybody stay with their man.
Well, that's it. Because like what DK is talking about, like those two guys dropping the lane. When you have a situation where maybe a cutter's going through is not a finisher, and two cats go with him late shot clock, and that leaves a guy top of the key open. We've seen that a few times. All five guys got to stay locked in. You just got to stay mentally into the moment, into the game, understand KYP, all that stuff, and understand, especially in those scramble situations, late shot clock, when crazy stuff will go down, just keep your head in the game.
And let me say this, and the reason why that's happening, and you know this too, when you haven't had a group of guys together, they're just doing what the defense says do. The defense says drop and help, we're going to drop and help. The defense says deny, we're going to die. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. They're not going to really adjust it to what they need to do, because I don't want to get in trouble with coach. I want to be where he told me to be. I want to be, if he said drop, I'm dropping. If he said, two guys drop, two guys help side, that's what I'm doing. So that when I watched him, and remember I told you, I said you have to take chances on the defensive end. That means that, I know what the game plan says, and I'm going to do both. I'm going to do my job, but I'm also going to recognize that my guy is getting off and they're going to blame me.
Yeah, I think like the hierarchy should be play ball like you've done your whole life, and game plan like you're obviously trying to do every single thing. But in those scramble situations, it's just about not common sense, but it's just about understanding, Kelvin, that you two guys following a cutter through the lane with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, leaving the guy wide open at the top of the key. One of those two guys got to recognize. One of those two guys got to recognize. We don't need two on this cutter.
And people always talk about offensive chemistry. It's defensive chemistry too. I have to know who need help, when they need help. Some guys don't need help at all and get angry at you. We say, mind your business. Mind your business. This is my guy. I don't need help, because just because you kind of see my guy getting by me a little bit, you know I'm finna chase him down. You know me. You know I'm not going to allow a guy to get a straight line drive to that bucket without getting to him or fouling him. So you stay with your guy. Don't overhelp me and let him hit the three. But we got to know each other to even have that conversation. I can't talk like that to you and I barely know you.
Right.
You're going to be looking at me like, what? Wait a minute, tone down. I'm like, I can't right now. We're in the middle of a game. But that's how sensitive you be with each other. And that's the tough thing about when you bring new guys together and try to form that team together. It's great when it's great. But when the things start, going bad, sometimes you got to figure out how to deal with each other and how to figure each other out in them times, because we haven't had them situations before, and now we got to, try to overcome it.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Arizona women's basketball. The ladies got a huge victory at home to snap their 4-game winning streak, coming from behind last night to knock off the California Golden Bears 66-55. Charlie Turner-Thorne from the Pac-12 Network will join us with some analysis on that. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show, along with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
You know, there are times when you want a new truck, and there are times when you need a new truck. So if either of those times are right now, O'Reilly Chevrolet has the time for you. O'Reilly is kicking off Savings in Selection 100 to celebrate 100 years in business. We have over 100 trucks to choose from. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings in Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet. Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead and make an appointment online or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Getting you set for the Arizona men's basketball game today in Eugene, Oregon. It is U of A and the Ducks. Tip-off coming up at 3:30. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Last night, though, here at McHale Center, it was a good night for Adia Barnes and her women's team.
Trying to deny Blakely. As there's a long pass, everybody forgot about Bay. She's going to catch this one up front and go to the rim to score it. The touchdown thrown by Martinez, who's got a little bit of a smirk. Back outside Puello. Looked like she had an opportunity to get a shot up there. Instead, Puello goes right of the lane. Left block now. Cunningham keeping Lane away from it with the free hand. Gets that one off the glass to score. Brea has 7. And now a moving screen's called on Cremili. Blakely now cuts right to left all the way to the rim and puts it off the front lip to score it. The Zona Zoo thought a foul should have been called as well as Jones is inside and throws this one back in play off of Cremili. Another turnover committed by Ioana Cremili, and this time it's just a hustling Skylar Jones to make it happen. Defended on the outside by Martinez, throws a pass toward the baseline, but it's intercepted by Jones. Nobody else was there for California. Minute and 10 seconds as Puello's open from the corner. 3 on the way, she's got it down. Alexis of Tucson, charity 3. And Arizona's lead is 9. Blakely starts the offense, gives way to Martinez, cuts to the baseline, nothing there. Try to hand it off again to Williams. Instead, she's going to go on the attack with Williams potentially picking up foul number 5. She's able to get that one off the glass to score. Leads back out to 9. Ball's inbounded to Martinez. Give it right back to the inbounding Pueo. Williams now penetrates, kicks it out to the corner. Martinez along the baseline. She's got it off the glass to score. Now has 20 points to go with 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And Arizona's lead is back out to 11. Rebounded by Bay, too short. Back up, no good. Rebound taken by Cunningham, and that's how it ends. 4-game losing skid snapped. Wildcats forced Cal in the second half to shoot 2 of 12 from three-point range. And Arizona wins 66-55.
It's time now to take you down the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
All right, let's have a chat with the woman who is calling these games on the analyst side of it for the Pac-12 Network this weekend. California last night, Stanford tomorrow. Pleased to be joined by the longtime head coach at Arizona State University, Charlie Turner Thorne. Charlie, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not the enemy anymore.
There you go. You're part of the family now, and it's good to have you in the family. Hey, Charlie, just obviously it was interesting to start. I mean, it seems like all of our games, there's something interesting to start. But last night, no Kaylin Gilbert out of the gate. Were you guys aware that she might not play at all in that game going in last night?
Well, I think Adia thought she might play limited minutes. You know, she did give us the heads up that she wasn't going to start, which is helpful, you know, when you're putting up you know, graphics of starters and stuff. But we fully expected her to play some. And so we were a little bit surprised that she didn't get in at all. But, you know, it just made the win that much more powerful, right? I mean, just an incredible display of the power of team last night.
What did you like about, obviously, when, you know, I think the ladies found out maybe she would be limited during shoot around earlier, and you've been a coach, so I'm sure you've been in that situation where you have to tell your team, look, we've got to readjust on the fly now because somebody's not going to play. First of all, how do you handle that as a coach when you know you might not have your best player, or at least for limited minutes, and you have a short period of time to try to prepare your team for what they need to do in a ball game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not that uncommon, you know, when, you know, players can not be available. Well, usually it's not game day, but, you know, week of the game. And, you know, you just turn it into a positive. Okay, next woman up. You know, this is all the more reason we all just need to pull together. I have umpteen examples over the years where, and you see it like almost every day. I mean, Rhea Marshall doesn't play in the SC game, and SC upsets UCLA. You know, like even in our conference, we've had a number of examples where top players have missed and the team has stepped up and won the game anyway. And it, you know, it's just a great testament to the power team. I mean, you know, you make it a positive. Hey, you know, Skylar Jones, freshman, gets to start. You know, nervous, yes, but excited, even more so. So, you know, I think there's always people that want those minutes. So, and, you know, it's carpe diem, right? Okay, you know, here you are. And you always tell your younger players, you gotta stay ready and you gotta stay confident because things happen all the time.
This is Charlie's Kelvin here. Jada Williams, she got a chance to play more of the point guard role today. How did you think that she handled that with Gilbert not being in?
I mean, she just keeps playing better and better. You know, we featured her for the pregame just because, well, Coach Barnes just loves her, you know, and even when she was playing 4 minutes, I mean, she was front and center in the film sessions, you know, wanting to get better, asking questions. So, I think, and when I talked to her at shoot around, I mean, she is, I'm a leader of this team. You know, I'm one of the leaders and I've got to step up and just wasn't even in relation to Gilbert, but just in relation to helping their team get back on a winning track. So, I mean, I thought she hit, you know, a couple of huge shot, that little right hand long layup was big to kind of start pulling away. And yeah, just handled, Leilani McIntosh is a nightmare to play against, you know, just really crafty, you know, great defender. So I thought Jada is just playing beyond her years right now, with a lot of poise, a lot of toughness. I mean, I don't know how many times she hit the floor. When she hit the floor and cracked her head on that one play,
Yeah.
I mean, my comment was like, as many times as I've seen that over my career, you just have some kids that, might be out for a month, and you have some kids that are just going to pop right back up, and they're going to keep playing. And, obviously if you have symptoms and it's injured, then, you're not going to do that. But she just seems like that hard-headed kid that says, don't tell me I'm not doing this. And so I think she's just playing with a lot of toughness and a lot of composure right now. And I saw her early, like against USD and against Texas, and she's just almost like another player right now in terms of her development in my evaluation.
Well, and also, just not to make it the Jada Williams show, but I thought she did a great job early on when she wasn't really getting to handle the ball, being a great defender, being pesky, I mean, the way she played defense, full court, all the young ladies play great full court defense, but it just seemed like she really had an attitude about it and really was trying to, gain her, earn her minutes.
Yeah, I agree. She's gotten much better defensively. And obviously, U of A, they're not this juggernaut with a bunch of veteran scorers this year, so they have to hang their hat on that. And, God love her. She'll pick up full court. She'll get beat. She'll just chase that person down and get right back in front. Or, her teammate will help her. Because she's not the most athletic kid. She's just smart and tough and works hard. And, you love that.
Charlie Turner Thorne is our guest, and she is our view from courtside today, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser celebrating 25 years of serving Arizona, as Mary Martinez led the way last night with 20 points on 7 of 10 from the floor, got to the line 8 times in that game, also had 7 rebounds and dished out 3 assists, not to mention 2 steals. Boy, as Mary really stuffing the stat sheet last night. What kind of stood out to you about the way as Mary played the ball game last night?
Well, first of all, I think that was her best game of the year, which is fantastic because, this time of year you want your seniors to be, driving your team and peaking. And, you do have that senior freakout thing, so it can go either way. But, just a fantastic game. The thing that really stood out to me is how well she finished. She gathered. She had a bit of an off arm. So she'll get under the basket and just get blocked a little too much, just kind of not really have a counter or pivot. And I thought she just really took her time, finished about as well as I've seen her. And she also didn't force things on the perimeter. Adia's and her coaching staff have done a great job of just trying to move her around to get her going on her scoring, elbow isos, pick and rolls, mid-post catches. They've just been doing different things. And she has had a tendency kind of in her elbow isos and stuff to kind of force things, not read, that the space on the floor and that second line of defense. And she did a much better job of that. I mean, she's always been a relentless rebounder, but if she can score, 15, 16, 17 points a night for U of A, I mean, that's going to be huge. And I think she can. And we all know she's a very capable three-point shooter, but she's just got to, kind of get in that flow a little bit.
You know what, Charlie, you've obviously been watching this program both on the court as a coach and now as an analyst for a number of years. 55 points is all California got last night. Defense has kind of been the calling card for Adia Barnes ever since she got here. What stands out to you about the way Arizona teams defend?
Well, I mean, I think, and I'll say just big picture-wise, like last year, I think she was very frustrated at times. Because I did a number of games last year as well, and they had so much offensive talent, right? So much offensive talent. They just they didn't quite have that same edge that they've had since Adia Barnes took over. And I know, she really felt this year this team was going to get back to that and be better at that, and they kind of needed to be. And I think that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, where when Ari was here and, you got Blakely out there just dogging the ball. You got someone working the point guard. You got them picking up any opportunity they can full court and, just making you work for every touch and every bounce. That's exhausting. And Cal, who has veteran guards, it was surprising how much they, turned the ball over and just, were bothered. So, it's hard to play against. You pick up your dribble, they're going to deny all the passes. And I think the biggest thing is just Puello and Martinez's hands. I mean, the steals, digging on the dribble in the post are just, you cannot pass over the top of Elena Puello. You just can't. It's gone. It's a steal every time. It's why she's number one the last 2 years in the conference in steals. She's just got magic Elastigirl arms. She's just really good. So I think you combine all that and you've got a team that's really hard to score against.
Charlie, one of the things that came up this week in conversation has been just kind of the rash of injuries we're seeing across women's basketball. Gino Ariama brought that to the front table when he talked about his team and the things that they've gone through. Obviously, we saw the situation that took place down at Texas Christian with them having to forfeit games because of injury. What do you think? Obviously, and Arizona's a team that has dealt with that as well, limited numbers this year. What are you seeing? What are you thinking is happening in terms of why we're maybe seeing this? And is it related to the pandemic and maybe some of the things that happened during that time that we're seeing more injuries, less girls playing, that type of thing?
Right. Well, there's always been injuries. And it's always kind of come in waves and cycles and stuff for different programs. So let me just say that first and foremost. When Gino and Muffet were trading, national championships, they played 6 people. And I could not figure out how they could keep those 6 people healthy, for a whole season. And, sometimes it's just a little luck, but I do think the pandemic was awful. It was awful for training and prepping and, making sure that, they probably got some extra rest, but I don't feel like we were able to prepare our athletes the way that we had in the past. I think injuries came out of that. We're a year removed now, maybe, we're on our year and a half removed from the pandemic. But, it's a combination of these young girls. They're playing year round at 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. That's a little bit of an issue, in my opinion, like how much they play at such an early age, and when they get to college, and some of them, have mental issues as well. We can talk about that one. That's at an all-time high, kind of epidemic, really, between injuries and mental health issues for student athletes. It's a lot, and I do think some of it is just, playing year-round from such a young age, and really not training, not ever building their core and doing things that can support that level of activity. I think and then everything is everybody's doing something different. Like coaches can be crazy. You learn as an old coach. I'm an old ex-coach now. It's like less is more. Like I just learned and we went some great stretches. But then you'll bring in a kid and they're just injury prone too. So there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of factors. I don't think there's all of a sudden one big thing. Because Gino has obviously a great program and a big voice. And so, he's having a tough couple of years with injuries, it doesn't mean it's epidemic. It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there. And yeah. But I do think that these kids, you look at a Paige, Beckers and certain kids that, have those kind of slight frames. They're phenoms, and all the basketball they're playing. Yeah, you may have some issues, and the game is certainly getting faster and more physical, which also would probably factor in a little bit.
Charlie Turner-Thorne, she'll be on the broadcast tomorrow along with Darren Sutton on the Pac-12 Network. It'll be Arizona and number 6 Stanford at McHale Center at noon. Charlie, have a great call tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys.
Absolutely. Appreciate you joining us. That's your view from courtside with Pac-12 Network analyst Charlie Turner-Thorne.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or RoyalKia.com.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams Center. We discuss the key risks in retirement, how retirement has changed, and how to best plan for success. A recent study showed 60% of retirees would go back and plan differently if they could. We want to help you avoid the would've, could've, should've. Call our office at 719-1433 to reserve your seat today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The new Blue Whale Car Wash, formerly Octopus Car Wash, is now open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at bluewhalecarwashaz.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more savings. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. Blue Whale Car Wash, proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rigsby with single digits on the timer. Evans gets it down low. Dante does the rest.
Jemai Neal got switched on to him. He can't really deal with the size and strength of Dante down there.
All right, we got another Battle of the Bigs coming up today in Eugene, Oregon. A couple of Malian bigs, Nafale Dante and Umar Balo. Should be another great battle between these two. Dante, coming back from injury, has only played in 5 games this season, starting to work his way back in, though he's been impressive, averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds in those 5 games. Since coming back into the lineup. Welcome back to the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. David Kelly, Calvin Efon, as well as J.W. Madden is in the house today, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Oregon Ducks up in Eugene. Tip-off is coming up at 3:30. Let's get to know the Oregon Ducks a little bit better.
Our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game is brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
All right, the Oregon Ducks and the Arizona Wildcats, not a place, as I mentioned, that's been very kind to Arizona over the years. Oregon, in fact, is 14-10 against the Wildcats in the Coach Dana Altman era of Ducks basketball. The team split last season's series, each winning at home. Oregon, in fact, has won the last 6 meetings against Arizona at Matthew Knight Arena and 8-2 at home against U of A under Dana Altman. Tommy Lloyd knows that this is going to be a monster of a game today.
Oregon's playing well, got a good home court advantage, and obviously the road hasn't been too kind to the Arizona Wildcats in 2024.
Right. And do you feel like maybe this helps a little bit? That they'll be, obviously,
Bruce,
this is more of a must?
This game has no impact on the next game.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not ascribing to any of those theories. If our guys want to win now, of course, because they lost, they're in the wrong program. When you wear an Arizona jersey, you want to win every day. We don't need to get into the weeds on things. Like, you want to win every day, and it's your responsibility to bring it every day.
There we go. The weeds again. Got to get into the weeds. That's one of the new terms this year, getting into the weeds that we get from Tommy Lloyd. Dana Altman, get his thoughts on team he has to face today in 9th-ranked Arizona.
It's the next game, and you know, they're the class of the conference right now. They're ranked and have beaten good teams. So we know we're going to have to play really well to beat them. And we know it's going to be a tough physical game. They're big and strong inside, which makes it really good that we have Dante and Nate back to try to match some of that size. So it will be a physical game and be determined on who communicates the best defensively, because they can really score. I think they're the leading scoring team in our conference. So we're going to have to communicate on the defensive end, and rebounding margin, they really get on the boards. We're going to have to do a great job there.
Yeah, guys, you've got 2 bigs, 2 centers in the game today, and in Vale Dante and Nate Biddle, both who have dealt with injuries and missed a ton of games this year. But, boy, you got to give Dana Altman a lot of credit how he held this roster together. I mean, that shows you the talent they've got when your 2 best bigs miss a combined, 20, they're almost 30 games. And you still are in a pretty good place being at the top of a major conference.
I mean, Dana Altman's roster is like a quilt every year. It's just a bunch of sewn together pieces that somehow he makes it work every single year since he's been up in Eugene. That's what he does. He brings in transfers and guys are in and out of the lineup, but it's really about that system. You talk about system guy, and they're going to be flying around today. I'm just curious to see if Coach Lloyd puts a lot of size out there on the court to match that, because those 2 guys are going to play together tonight, Kelvin.
Yeah, and then they got the other kid, Tracy. He's only 6'5" guy, but just the length that they have in those 2 guys, man, is and what I'm more worried about them is, and what we've struggled with, is finishing around the rim, right? And those guys come out to everything.
Yeah.
they don't care if they foul out. They don't care, but they're protecting that rim all out. And if you get by somebody, expect one of those guys to come and challenge. So that's the one thing, that I worry about a little bit is the contested shots at the rim.
That's the one surprising thing, is because Oregon's almost always, under Altman, been at the top of the league in blocks. And this year, they're actually 8th, only 3.5 a game. But you could chalk that up to Dante being out for such a long period of time.
Yeah, and with those guys being out, he had an opportunity to get some other guys into his starting lineup, like Keyshawn Bartholomew has started games. You mentioned Jadrian Tracy has started some games. Mohamedou Diawara has started games this season. I mean, he's got 10 different guys that have started games for this roster this season, and he believed, Dana Altman, that depth was going to be on the plus side for his club.
Going into the season, we thought our depth was going to be one of our big strengths. We thought we had guys that could play, and the numbers got down there for a while and kind of held us back. But now that we're getting people back integrated into what we're doing, I hope that depth will be important. I don't know if 52-28 in the second half is some of that depth, being able to play, but we didn't have to play. Dante played 30, and no one else got to 30. And so, we've been trying to get him to play at a different pace, a different intensity level. And with the guys back now, we should be able to do a little better job of that.
Dante, so far since coming back, averaging 25 minutes per ball game, and Biddle, though not as much, so he's still working his way back in, averaging just 19 minutes per ball game. So you figure that those two guys are probably going to maybe see a little bit more increased minutes, maybe in a game like this today against the 9th-ranked team in the country at home. But still, guys, not 100% or either one of those two. When you miss, pretty much almost both of them missed 8 weeks each, or 2 months each. It's tough to come back and be right where you want to be, obviously, coming off that.
Well, that's right around the minutes that they want for those guys because, again, they like to play small a lot. They do play the Lent team, but they played a small team as well with a lot of three-point shooting. So those minutes, if you think about it, 25 and you said 19, that's the 40 minutes for your center position that you have for each game. Now, they do try to play those guys together a little bit because of some of the matchups that they have in conference, but I think they're a better team, though, when they kind of go smaller and have more three-point shooters out there and make it a threat and force the other team to match up.
Yeah, I've noticed that Nate Biddle's conditioning might not be quite there because he gets in and he gets winded pretty quick. So, he's going to come in. He's only averaged about 14 minutes on the season, give you energy in bursts, Kelvin. So with an Arizona team that's maybe looking to push some tempo, Oregon likes to play with some tempo as well. That's something to keep an eye on is that Biddle has not been able really to stay on the court for a super long period of time. He's kind of one of those guys checking in, checking out right now.
And Oregon tries to slow down your tempo with the 1-2-2 trap.
Yeah.
They run some 1-3-1. They run some 2-3. He'll try anything. he will try anything. just to, to see if it'll work.
All right, we'll hear a little bit more from Dana Altman coming up a little bit later in our program today. And we mentioned that, they've had these injuries this season. They also have a player, obviously, that's a key part of the rotation that's out for the year as well. Tommy Lloyd was asked this week if it's been harder to scout them because there have been so many games without Biddle and Dante and few games with them back in the lineup.
Maybe, but we're familiar with, I think, most of their guys that were out. So, we know they're good players. And, at the end of the day, they were doing fine when those guys were injured, but you can only play 5 guys. So, they're going to be in for somebody else that maybe was playing well. So we'll see it all plays out. But, we know there's going to be no shortage of talent, when we play Oregon on Saturday.
All right, that's our initial checkout of the Oregon Ducks.
That's been our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game. Brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Might be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. We'll tell you the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the game coming up tonight on the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show. And Wildcats Radio 1290 and Coors Light wants to send you to the men's basketball tournament. March 13th through the 16th in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. The final Pac-12 men's basketball tournament as we know it. Grand prize, 2 all-session passes for the tournament, $1,000 in cash cards, which you can use on whatever you want to pay for your travel to Las Vegas, to pay for your hotel in Las Vegas, to pay for your gambling in Las Vegas, whatever you want, your restaurants, your food, your drinks, whatever you want to spend that $1,000 on, we're going to give you the cash cards to do that. So if you want to win, you got to head on over right now to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com, and sign up. Did we get that click thing? You know, J-Dub, if we got the click thing corrected?
I have not checked today.
Okay. So click on, if you get there and there's an issue with the click, but with the button where it says click, or where it's just click here, not click, but here.
Don't click on click.
Here.
Click on
don't
here.
Click. There you go. Don't click on click. Click on here to get through to where you can sign up. All the details will be there. Official contest rules and everything is over at wildcatsradio1290.com. Again, this is a trip, 2 all-session passes for the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament mid-March in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, plus $1,000 in cash cards for you to do whatever you want. Good luck from Coors Light and Wildcats Radio 1290.
Could you use that $1,000 cash card to buy like a Devin Booker signed jersey if you wanted to?
Maybe. What did he end up finish with, even though they lost that
62,
game? 62,
I think.
Finished with 62. So he scored 62. Lucas scored what? 73 last night? What is going on right now?
Well, here's the thing. Last week, right, Embiid had 70.
Yeah.
And Booker had 60 some odd, right?
No, I thought, well, Cat had 60.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then Booker had like 40
Cat had it.
something.
Cat had it, and then Embiid. That was the anniversary of Kobe's 81.
Right.
And yesterday was the anniversary of Kobe's death.
Yes.
And Booker went crazy, and Luka went crazy.
Right. Craziness indeed. All right, we got a special guest in the house today. Hop on over there by that camera so the folks can see you, young man. We got the infamous, famous KJ in the house. What's up, KJ?
Nothing.
Speak into the mic right there so the folks can hear you.
Nothing really.
All right, I hear you got a football game coming up today, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so what's the plan? How y'all gonna win today?
We're just gonna throw the ball a little, but not a lot. We're trying to win this game. This is my first ever flag football game, so we're just probably maybe run the ball.
Wait a minute, this is your first flag football game?
First.
Wow. So I know you are excited. What's the name of the team?
The Bears.
The Bears. All right, you guys got cool jerseys?
I don't know.
No, you got your cool gloves on. You got your pass catching gloves. Let's see what you got there. What you got? Oh yeah, looking good. Yeah. All right. Who's your favorite wide receiver?
D-Hop.
D-Hop. There you go. DeAndre Hopkins. He's a Texas guy back down there. I played for the Texans for a bunch of years. All right. Well, good luck. Don't drop any passes now, KJ.
Oh, definitely.
All right. No drops today. All right. Kelvin is going to be hopping out of here. It'll be me and J-Dub for the rest of the show. We will talk to you, Kelvin, on the postgame show a little bit later.
All right, guys. Brad out. See you later.
All right. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, along with Kelvin Ifan, J.B. Mad. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
With the new year, we usually make resolutions to be healthier. Water quality in your home can help you achieve healthy living goals. I'm Ron Arenas with Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We offer solutions to filter the water in your house that you drink, shower, and cook with every day. For clean and healthy water, call 520-440-4069.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hope top of the key. Around a Bilodeau screen. Step back. Won't shoot the three. Runs into Lewis. Nearly lost the ball. Get it to Ratai. Wide open for three. It's good.
Yeah, you just can't in the last 3.5 minutes leave people open and challenge them to shoot threes, especially in a close game like this. You know, give Oregon State Ratai some credit there. He stepped up and knocks down another big three for the Beavers.
Problem for this Arizona Wildcats club. Ratai was able to do it in that ball game. And we talked a little bit about that early in the show about late shot clock. I believe that was one instance, a late shot clock situation where the Wildcats defended very well for the first 40 seconds, 35. What's the shot clock now?
35.
35. For the first 30 seconds, but then just lost a man at the top and allowed him to make a shot like that.
Got to finish the play.
Yeah. And Michael Ratai in that game finished with 12 points. He had 2 threes. Tyler Bilodeau had 3. So they got 5 out of 7 from 2 of their big men in that ball game. And that is something right now that has head coach Tommy Lloyd very concerned.
Our bigs got to step up on some of these bigs. Our bigs are literally acting like they've never seen another big make a three. And we probably got to scout it better, and we got to respect people a little bit more. But that's on the coaching staff and and on our bigs. So we got to be better there. We can't, it's a recurring theme against us.
Well, I wonder with Rataj particularly, he hit a couple that looked pretty wide open. If you had scouted that,
Exactly.
he wasn't going
Yeah,
to.
I mean, that was just probably bad scouting, bad coaching, and bad defense.
Wow, the trifecta.
Bad scouting, bad coaching, bad defense. Yeah, and it's interesting, when you there were two instances I think that it really stood out to me. I believe there was a play in the first half where I thought, Pella got lost in the lane and lost a shooter outside. That this wasn't a big; it was one of the guards. And then actually that was in the second half. The one in the first half was Krivas. Krivas got lost down low, and then I believe it was the first shot that Ratai hit. Our Billito, one of those two guys hit out front that he just was in the lane, standing in the lane when he should have been out on the perimeter. And again, those are wide open looks that you just cannot allow teams to continue to get if you're the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, and it's a little from column A, a little from column B, right? Because we're talking again about a lot of guys whose percentages coming in weren't anything to write home about. So some of the scout is, don't be super concerned about this guy. But when that changes within the game flow, right, TK? If a guy knocks down his first shot, then you have to be cognizant that he's feeling pretty confident and that you need to maybe not give him as much space. And you just can't get lost in those late shot clock situations.
Not at all. All right, let's shine a light on one of the Arizona players who is going to be key for the Wildcats today.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Keyshawn Johnson, 18 points in Corvallis the other night. He had 7 of 11 from the floor, missed his only 3-point attempt, went 4 for 5 from the line. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did not turn it over, had a block and 2 steals. One very nice block. That was a great effort play.
That block, I thought there was no way he was going to get to that ball. And then when the trajectory of the ball changed, I was shocked. I mean, that's just incredible effort. And the steal, DK, that's about as good as you can do it on an inbounds play like that.
Yeah, just really went right up and took it away.
That's my ball.
As it was coming in. Let's hear from Keyshawn Johnson, get his thoughts on what happened in Corvallis the other night.
Trying to get away like this, the way they shot, and I've had a couple games like that where teams really shoot really well from three.
OSU, they played a good game. They made a lot of shots. They made more than they average for the year. But that's just the price we got to pay wearing that Block A on our chest. People going to come out and have hell of a game. So just kudos to them. They made a lot of shots. It's a couple of plays where we could have did something a little different to probably change the narrative of the game. But things happen.
Do you feel like that you caught the intercepted that ball at the end? Did you feel like that was a sign maybe you could pull it out, or what was going through your mind?
Of course, it was a winning play. A winning play at the time when we were down 2. So gave ourselves another chance. Pella ended up getting to the line, making a free throws, tying the game. So that was just a winning play, and then they came down and hit a big shot. So of course that was a winning play.
When you say things you could have changed, do you feel like something with defense, alignments, or maybe fighting through screens differently, anything like that's maybe not happening?
You said it yourself. Just all those little things. Everything that you pretty much just said took place in the game. Probably we messed up a switch or something like that, or it was probably a shot we probably didn't contest in the first half of the game that probably paid off in the end. So just all those little things add up to being a close game at the end.
Is there something too just about road games in general? You've had three in a row now that've been pretty tough like that.
It's the conference. It's conference. Yeah. It's always hard to play on the road. We came out, we had energy. We made a lot of plays happen. But kudos to them that was able to pull it off.
Yeah, I was wondering too. They're if anything, sometimes you think they have a lot of defenses they'll switch, and sometimes I can make it tricky. But you guys were shooting pretty well. Was there anything that in general maybe made it tough to?
No, they didn't really. They didn't rattle us or nothing like that. Yeah. We played our game, but they was able to match that with their offensive game too. They had a great offensive night, so that's how that happened.
All right, that is Keyshot Johnson after the ball game the other night, and talking about a great offensive night for the Oregon State Beavers. They made 12 3-point shots in the game, shot 12 of 20.
12 of 20.
Yeah, 60%. Not bad at all. 5 of those going to Jordan Pope, including the game winner at the end as he finished with 31 points. I will see what Jordan Pope does today, but he's already not only he's probably the leader in the clubhouse, I would think, for player of the week, and that's what we've seen. The whoever goes off against Arizona State, or Arizona, I should say, J-Dub is generally going to be the player of the week. It was Isaac Jones the one week, and the kids from Washington State won both the player and the week and the freshman of the week. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like as intended, because we talked a lot about that in postgame the other night, where you're talking about the only ranked team in the conference currently. You're talking about the team with all the expectations to make a deep run in March, all the hype, all the national news is about Arizona, what they did in Cameron, blah, blah, blah. When these younger guards come up against that Arizona name on the jersey, DK, they're always going to come with a little bit of extra. But when you're talking about all those things I just mentioned, that just gives the onus on those young players. This is my time. This is my time to make a name for myself. And clearly going in with that extra boost of confidence, thinking, I could be a household name nationally after I make a shot like this tonight against the Arizona Wildcats. That translates into Pac-12 Player of the Week's honors pretty regularly lately, because, these guys are just stepping up, playing big games against Arizona.
Yeah. All right, that is our spotlight on a cat.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat has been brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, second hour of the show. We will have our scoreboard coming up in this half hour. Also, the opponent's coaching corner. We'll hear more from Dana Altman. Dana will talk about the injury issues that he has dealt with on his roster, and we mentioned those a little bit earlier in this hour. Both his big men, and Fale Dante and Nate Biddle, have missed considerable time. Biddle, a junior out of Oregon. Dante, out of Mali, by way of Sunrise, Kansas, a 6'11", 265-pound senior, one of the best big men in the Pac-12 conference. So
he's improved every year.
He has indeed done that. So we'll hear from Dana Altman on those two young men, and also on the rest of his squad and some of the things he's got going on. You heard him talk a little bit about his depth. It was a big second-half run that helped them turn that game the other night. They were behind against Arizona State, but got it going in the second half. So we'll also hear about some of the guys that were key in that run. Kwame Evans Jr., another KJ. He's a freshman out of Baltimore and making a quick impact for this Oregon ball club. Kwame Evans has started 16 games already this season, averaging 22 minutes and scoring 8 points and grabbing 5 rebounds. So a guard that can go in there and get boards for Oregon.
They fell behind 20-10 in that game, ended up winning by 19. So 29-point swing there from the early mid-first to the final score.
Also coming up, we will give you your best bets. We told you the line on this one is -3.5. Your over-under on it is 158. Best bets brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino. Who will be that beaver, I should say that duck, who gets under the Wildcats' skin tonight? Your pest of the game, brought to you by University Pest and Termite. And our offensive scouting report will be presented by James Crepia. He is the beat writer for the Oregon Ducks at the Oregonian newspaper, which I believe is in Portland, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
It's the major paper in Portland. As well as we'll have our keys to the game, all of that coming up as we take you to 2:30 today. And then Brian Jeffries and the network will take over. Brian and Reggie Geary on the call of this one today in Eugene, with tip-off coming up at 3:30.
Have you ever been up there?
I have, yeah. As a manager, I went up there.
To Matthew Knight?
Oh no, I've not been to the new building.
Yeah.
No, I was,
Me either.
I was at the creaky floor
Yeah, the
building,
old-
like Brian was talking about.
Yeah. Me too. I've been up to the old building, but I've never been to this brand new build. Not brand new. What's it, like 10, 12 years old now?
Is it that old now?
Well, 8.
Seems
I mean,
like it
I
just
remember.
opened.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that long ago that they opened the doors. I have never seen that floor with my own 2 eyes.
Wow. Yeah.
Just on TV.
What did you guys call it the other day? The you need the Visine.
They
You
call
need
it the tree.
Visine?
They call it from the trees or something like that. Yeah, well, yeah. I said the players because Brian was talking about how the players need to pack something. I said you better pack your Visine because that court. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you block out all the distractions of the fans. You block out the distractions of the shooting background, which has made a lot of, especially in the NCAA tournament, how those shooting backgrounds become so voluminous. But that court, I mean, there has to be some kind of peripheral vision thing because of the way the contrast works. From the graphic designer's background, as I have, it's like the idea of they changed it. They first started out as a little bit more subtle, but now there's a much more higher contrast between the trees and the brown of the court. And it's just on TV, especially with those highlighter yellow jerseys that they're wearing and the fans, it's the colors, it messes with my eyes. It has to have some effect on some of the players' eyes.
It pops for sure. It pops for sure when you're talking about, especially those lime green uniforms, man.
And it goes along with that idea of all the changing jerseys in football. I mean, the kids love it. The students love it. I mean, I get why they do it. I just wonder, personally, as far as watching it as a spectator on television, I'm not the only one. I've heard quite a few people complain about they're not going to miss Matthew Knight Arena's court going into the Big 12.
All right, we want to hear from you as well on this program today. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are streaming this show on a number of different video platforms. You can watch us at Wildcats Radio 1290 on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch at Wildcats Radio 1290. It's at Wildcats 1290 on Twitter. You can also hear or watch the show there. You can hear the show on a number of different streaming platforms as well. We have audio. We're on the Odyssey app. We're on the iHeart app. We're on our own app. In fact, download our app. In fact, text app, APP, to 520-848-1290. I will send you a link so you can download the app and you can take us wherever you want to go. It slaps, indeed. I've got all kinds of good stuff on the app right now. In fact, let me open it up and tell you. I've got the preview of today's game between the Wildcats and the Oregon Ducks. That is up there. We've also got a recap of last night's loss by the Suns.
Pacers, man.
Yeah, to the Indiana Pacers. What happened? I didn't see any of that game. What happened
Okay, I will tell you this much. I watched pretty much the whole third and fourth quarters. The last 8 minutes of that game, DK, was like a playoff game. The level of intensity, obviously the Suns got a lot to prove now that those big three. Beal took a shot to the nose, came back out with the full nose stuffed because he was bleeding and all of that. Booker went crazy in the first quarter, as we saw at the end of our show yesterday. But the Pacers, man, without Tyrese Halliburton, they're just really resilient, very deep team, and came back and just made big plays down the stretch. Booker had a chance at the end to win the game, but fell a little bit short.
Yeah, so you can read all about that game as well as the Arizona women's basketball's win over the California Golden Bears. All of that is on our app, so download it, check it out, and you can watch the show that we're having right now here as well. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, along with J.W. Madden and Calvin Efon. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Savings in Selection 100 is going on right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet because we have selection, we have savings, and we have over 100 trucks, including Chevy Silverados, the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings in Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
See dealer for details.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087 BK 0902429 Equal Housing Opportunity.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have 0 interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Umar had a couple of, not only his shooting, but he had a couple of bandages on his hand. I know he asked before.
Bruce, I don't know. Bruce, make layups,
or?
make dunks. I mean, try to make your free throws. I'll give you a little grace on those, but make the other stuff because you're too good of a player not to.
Yeah, I was just wondering. You know how his free throw, maybe is that affecting the way he thinks
No
about
one
it?
told me anything.
So Umar Balo apparently was wearing some bandages on his hands on Thursday night in Corvallis. He took just 4 shots in the game and scored just 7 points and went 3 of 8 from the line. So struggled from there once again as the Wildcats lost that game by a score of 83-80. We've seen, obviously, Umar deal with some various injury situations throughout his career. And, when you've got bandages on your hand, I don't know if he's got cuts or something of that nature, but that could obviously affect the way that he's also trying to finish around the lane and around the basket.
Do you remember the last time he had made a comment about, it was really cute. He's talking about how, he would hope, because he had the thumb issue where his thumb got hyperextended, something like that. And when it came out, because we didn't really know leading into that game last year, and after the game, Ballo said he hoped and believed that no opponent would try to swipe down at the sore thumb type of thing. And you wonder about these injury issues that come out or are very loosely covered because of that, right? Because you're not trying to give the opponents any kind of indication that you got a sore area. Not that there's a targeting per se, but there is an attempt to be more physical.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. 47% is what Umar Ballo is averaging this season from the free throw line, his lowest output of his career. Tommy, this week on Umar building confidence after he went 7 of 8 in that game last weekend to beat UCLA.
Hopefully it'll build. I was, I obviously rewatch games here and there, and, I was rewatching one this past week, and his free throw percentage popped up, and it was like 62%. So he's capable of that, and that was late in the season. So he just got to get back to that. And, we don't make a huge deal out of it either way. We obviously work on it, and Umar spends time on it. And, sometimes it takes a while to get the results you want. You just got to hang with it. So hopefully that's a case of that right now.
I think, DK, that it's important that you find a rhythm to your routine that feels comfortable, that doesn't get you too much in your head, and then it's repeatable. We heard him when he had his 7 for 8 game talking about how he had changed up his routine slightly and he wasn't taking as much time, and also that he was focusing on not leaning back. And that's a big key, especially if you're struggling with consistency. Maybe even lean forward a little bit. Steve Kerr used to fall forward at his release of his free throws. He was a pretty darn good free throw shooter. You can say what you want about big hands, all those things. Just keep a consistent routine that you feel comfortable with when you let it go, that your body's in line and all those things, and you've got balance, and everything works itself out.
All right, Arizona is not a double-digit road favorite in this ball game today. They are only favored by 3.5 points. The 3 losses on the road that have preceded this game at Stanford, Washington State, and Oregon State, the Wildcats were double-digit favorites in all of those games and lost. We had a chance yesterday to catch up with the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries. We'll let you hear some of that conversation. I asked Brian if that had ever happened before, the Wildcats being double-digit favorites in 3 straight road games and losing.
I don't follow betting lines, so I couldn't tell you that. Obviously, 3 straight road losses, probably unusual. We'll have to go back a few years, I think, in all due respect to the teams they've lost to, but, losing to Stanford, Washington State, and Oregon State, I would have to go back even further than that to see the last time they lost to those 3 teams on the road in a single season. So, yeah, it's been a rugged start here for the Wildcats in their conference road schedule, and it's not going to get any easier when you take a look at what they've got left to go.
Yeah, I heard you throw out the stat last night. The next 3 road opponents have not lost at home this year.
Yeah, that is correct. And, the Wildcats have a chance to solve one of them tomorrow, Oregon, but then their next couple road games after that are Utah and Colorado. So, like I said, this is, winning on the road's tough enough. And, trying to beat those teams right now. And, you look at, well, we shouldn't look ahead, but, Oregon's gotten healthy now. They got, Nate Biddle back last night, and I think that's huge for them. So they're a healthy team. Colorado's healthier now. They had Cody Williams back. Tristan Da Silva's back. Utah, I think, is a team that probably has been healthy, but obviously, has a great home court advantage. So, like I said, the road is not going to be any easier. And I think tomorrow, probably the ultimate test for the Wildcats. Oregon might be playing the best basketball. I know they lost their 2 road games recently, but I still, just watching them on film, extremely athletic, very deep. I think right now they got a chance really to take control of the conference race starting tomorrow.
When you look at, Brian, this Arizona team right now, one of the things that I think is interesting that Kelvin Ifan has kind of pointed out is that there has been a lot of change in this roster. You've got, new starters really throughout this lineup in terms of 3 guys. Kylan Boswell, who's in his first year as a starter. Caleb Love, who's in his first year on the team, along with Keyshawn Johnson being his first year on the team. One of your first guys off the bench were really 3, really essentially the 3 guys off the bench. All were not on this team last year. And one of the things Kelvin has said is it may take some time. It may take, into the 20th to 25 game range for these guys to figure out who they are together. Do you believe in that mindset? Obviously, we're in a new era of college basketball where you have a lot of transient situations with guys coming in and out. Are you finding that it takes some of these teams longer to figure it out together?
Well, I think you can certainly look at that, and probably if you put together a case study of different teams around the country, you could find that similar scenario. I think every team is different, though, and it kind of depends on how the pieces fit together. And yes, Arizona has a lot of new guys. I think the concern, probably, at least from the fans' point of view, is that this is the same team, same starting lineup that beat Duke at Duke, beat Michigan State, beat Wisconsin, beat Alabama, lost to Purdue, but played well against them. And it really, since that Florida Atlantic game there in late December. They just haven't played at that same level, and I don't think you can ignore that. And so usually you get off to a good start like that, and you would expect it to continue. You hope the teams grow throughout the season, and there's just been some stumbling blocks here the last month now for the Wildcats that they have not been able to overcome, most of it on the defensive end. And they've still got plenty of time left. They're not even midway through the conference season as yet, and I think as somebody posted on social media this morning, last year around this time, UConn lost 6 of 8 games, and they went on to win the national championship. And so every team has its ups and downs. And I don't think you don't push the panic button, and Arizona's struggling in some areas right now. It doesn't mean they can't get it fixed. It may not get fixed tomorrow, but they've got plenty of time left. And I think that's one reason, Tommy's not going to panic. I know last night on the bus right after the ball game, he wanted to go back and look at the film. He says, hey, he believes in everybody he has. He believes in what they're doing. It's just a matter now of doing it better. And I think each guy's got to look himself in the mirror and say, okay, what can I do now to step up my game and get it back to where we were a month or so ago?
Getting into the weeds, as Tommy likes to phrase it when he goes to look at the tape. Have they practiced today already, Brian, or is that still to come?
No, we actually just got to Eugene, decided to stay. Well, they had already made plans to stay in Corvallis last night, and just literally walked into the hotel 10 minutes ago here in Eugene. So they're going to practice this afternoon, leave here in about 45 minutes to go over to Mat Court, and they're scheduled to practice for 90 minutes today, and we'll see if they use all of that. But it's a quick turnaround. You haven't played Oregon yet this season. Now they're in the same boat, of course. So you've got one day really to do your game planning because tomorrow being an afternoon game, there's no chance really to do much tomorrow. So it's very important today. They already watched some film this morning before we left the hotel in Corvallis, so they got that done. Now they'll get on the court. They'll do some more film study tonight here at the hotel before, just like I said, a brief walkthrough tomorrow morning.
Do you find that these in between day workout practices are they very similar from coach to coach? Does Tommy Lloyd handle this Friday in between a Thursday Saturday game any different than maybe you've seen in the past with Sean Miller or Lute Olson or any of those guys?
Well, every coach has his different way of going about it. I don't think there's anything radically different. Some coaches just like to use it as a day to get loose. You need to get the guys out on the court. Some guys go into deep game planning. Tommy does a lot of work in terms of their out-of-bounds defensive plays. They do that either on game day or, in this case, the day before. A lot of their game preparation, again, is spent, in the film room, which, like I said, they did some this morning. They'll do some more tonight. They'll probably do some more tomorrow morning. The practices are more or less a chance to, get out there, get on the floor, get loose. You don't want to be sitting around in the hotel all day. And it's a time, if you've lost a game on Thursday like Arizona did, it's a time where you just kind of want to flush it out of your system. And so maybe use that as well. And, what do they do today? I mean, they will do some things that obviously they want to work on against Oregon tomorrow, but at the same time, I think they just want to get some shooting in. Now, they're going to practice at Matt Court today. And I can't remember the last time they actually practiced in the arena, because Oregon, like a lot of schools like Arizona, they've got a practice gym very much like Richard Jefferson. And if other events are going on, then the opposing team usually ends up there, and that's just the way it works. But today they're scheduled to be on the arena floor, and maybe that's an advantage. They'll get a chance for the guys that have never played here before to get a feel for the court that they're going to play on tomorrow.
Brian Jeffries joining us, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Brian, we like our history here, and you're obviously someone that's been through this footprint. Share us memories you have of both of these places in terms of basketball, Oregon State and Oregon.
Well, Oregon State, and it's starting to get more difficult now as we're winding things down in the Pac-12. And football, it really didn't hit, at least me personally. And maybe it was, the Bay Area, those last two games there, going to Pullman for the last time. And then when we couldn't get out of Pullman, it'll leave some lasting memories. And last night, Gill Coliseum is an old school gym is what it is. And it was built in the late 40s. They really haven't changed much except for the seats. I don't think and probably the floor, but nothing else has changed. They throw a new coat of paint on it. But it's got that, if they were going to film a West Coast version of Hoosiers, they'd probably do it at Gill Coliseum. That's the feel you have for it. And you kind of, it's a neat place to go to. Obviously, when Arizona lost the game last night, you're not going to have great memories of the last game there, but it's just got a different atmosphere than some of the newer modern arenas. Like tomorrow, Matt Court, that's, I think, the newest arena now in the Pac-12. And it doesn't have that same feel that Mac Court did on the Oregon campus. So, hey, but I tell you what, it's, it was kind of tough leaving Corvallis this morning thinking, I don't know if I'm going back there or not. We're not going to play baseball this year. And so that may be it, at least for the time being. And you leave Eugene tomorrow night after the game, and it's the same thing. These are two, nice college towns, and they're fun to visit. The weather's not great, but hey, you get back to Arizona and, solve that in a hurry. So, I think just in terms of the games, at Oregon State, of course, Gary Payton, always remember him up there, Ralph Miller, when he was the head coach early on when Arizona joined the Pac-10. And here at Oregon, I mean, there's just been some great games over the years, most of them over at Mac Court. And that place is, like I said, very historic. You jam people in there. I mean, literally jammed people in there. I mean, where we broadcast from there, you'd have somebody's knees would be in your back because there were no backs to the seats. I mean, and it smelled. You could smell the popcorn everywhere you went. The floors creak. It was just a classic old arena. And so those are the memories I'm going to have of, not specific games, so to speak. And there have been some great ones back and forth between the two teams, but just the feel of the arena and everything that's gone on and the rivalries between the schools.
All right, that is Brian Jeffries, our conversation with him yesterday on DK on the Sports Tip. He will call the game today with the help of Reggie Geary, and you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 beginning with tip-off at 3:30. 520-848-1290. If you'd like to get in on the program, you can call us at that number. You can also text us at that number. Let's see. We've got a texter here. Let's see if I got a name on. This is Greg. Greg says, how about our team learn how to dunk? Great show. Thank you very much for your text, Greg. And, hey, that's just what Tommy Lloyd was saying a little bit earlier in terms of Umar Ballo. You got to score those balls around the bucket. And it was better. It was better in the last game. I think, what did I say? I think it was 66, 67%. They didn't miss as many. But in a three-point game, the ones you miss are just even that more magnified.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, there's not much more you can say than you got to learn how to dunk.
Right. Exactly. That's it's hard to block a dunk. It's hard to miss a dunk. I mean, we've missed some dunks, but
Look, the reason why DeAndre Ayton doesn't play in Phoenix anymore, right, is because the fans needed him to be Shaq. And when you get the ball under the basket and you're bigger, stronger than the guys near you, you need to go up with purpose and finish with purpose. And it's understandable if there's a hand injuries. We don't know about bandages and all that stuff. I know the thumb bothered him quite a bit last year finishing around the rim.
Right.
But those numbers have come way up since we saw close to 55% finishing on layups during that stretch there for a minute. So these last few games, they've finished around the rim better with layups. But yeah, I mean, when you have a chance to go up and finish over the top of people, you got to send that message, especially today. Today's going to be a really physical game. So any opportunities you get there in the paint, you got to finish strong.
All right, it is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We've got much more straight ahead for you, along with J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. We did Right Way. Did we do Right Way rundown this hour?
We did. We already did.
That's right. My clock is wrong. I'm thinking top of the hour. This is a bottom of the hour show today.
That's right.
So there we go. All right, we'll be back with more. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad those arch supports are in my shoes.
Go to the Good Feet store at 4811 East Grant Road or at goodfeet.com.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bartholomew, downhill, leans in, takes the contact and converts. Bartholomew for three. Yes, sir. Ducks on the high side. Timeout ASU.
Keyshawn Bartholomew, I don't remember him at Colorado. He's a senior out of Montreal, Quebec, and has started 6 games this year for the Oregon Ducks, played in 17 of the 19, averaging 24 minutes, scoring 8 points and shooting 46% from the floor and 38% from 3. Got hot there at the end of that ball game the other night against the Arizona State Sun Devils as the Oregon Ducks rallied to come from behind and win that contest by 19 points. Those were the only 2 games on the docket in that schedule in the Pac-12 on Thursday night, and the Oregon Ducks, led by Nafale Dante, who finished with 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 block shots. So block shots are going to be back on the agenda today for the Arizona Wildcats as they try to get off the schneid in Eugene, a place where they have lost 6 games in a row. In fact, Keyshawn Bartholomew off the bench finished with 12 points in that ball game on 5 of 6 from the floor.
He doesn't have any official stats at Colorado.
No? Well,
not that I can see.
He must not have played there then. That would be why I did not remember him in Colorado.
Yeah.
That did not play there, but is finding some action. 26 minutes off the bench. That's not a bad thing for a guy in the Pac-12 conference. He had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block himself in the ball game the other night. All right, let's hear from the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Dana Altman. That comeback against the Sun Devils, was that a statement win after a couple of bad losses on the road at the Rocky Mountain Schools?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, every game's important. I don't know. We needed to win the game. I know that, coming off of 2 road losses where defensively we're 1-5 when we give up 80 points. So you don't have to be too much, too smart to figure that out. That number's too high.
Dana Altman's funny sometimes. That number's too high.
Yeah, he's great. Kind of like an aw shucks kind of thing.
Exactly. 23-8 was the run that the Ducks went on. The game was tied 42-42 with about 14 and a half minutes to go, and they went on a 23-8 run to put away the Arizona State Sun Devils.
We took some questionable shots there, and that's being nice. That got us out of rhythm. And defensively, we had 8 deflections the whole first half, and we had 27 the second half. So it gives you an idea of the difference, I thought, in intensity. And some of that's human nature. When shots aren't going, you're not quite as active. And, we got that stretch, and crowd got into it. Our activity defensively was pretty good. But, we had a good stretch there. But, the thing we were most pleased with, they didn't score there for a while. And we were able to make a pretty good run.
Were you happy with the defensive intensity overall in the second half?
Second half, with 27 deflections, that's a really high number for us. And our perimeter guys, Keyshawn, Jackson, and Brennan had most of them. So that's, not letting them move the ball where they want, is a big thing.
Kwame Evans Jr., another guy off the bench, played 18 minutes in that game. He was key in that 23-8 run we talked about. He had 5 points and a couple of big assists, finished with 8 on the ball game. He is known as KJ.
KJ, really wants to help the team. He came to me, knew he wasn't playing really good, and said, Coach, maybe I just need to come off the bench and try to get something going. And I like that unselfishness. Again, if we're going to play 10 guys or whatever, guys what can I do for the team? And you see how that unselfishness pans out. He had a good stretch, comes off the bench, and really was a big part of that run, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, he's a guy that started 16 games for the Oregon Ducks this season, but came off the bench in that ball game there. And there's nothing better, J-Dub, than a guy who, will try to figure out where he best fits into the system, whether that's, maybe I don't fit it starting. Maybe I'm the guy that needs to bring the energy off the bench.
And that's a statement of Altman teams where guys may have flaws in their game. They may not be great, maybe offensively from 10 to 18 feet, but they sure make up for it by getting in the passing lane or by challenging shots at the rim. Altman always has those really athletic, long defenders, especially, and there's a lot of buy-in. There's a lot of buy-in up there in Eugene as far as doing whatever it takes to help the team win. I do have a slight correction as well. I was looking at the page I was looking at for some reason didn't have any stats for Keyshawn Bartholomew at Colorado. However, he did in fact play quite a few games up there in Boulder as a freshman and a sophomore. In fact, last year or 2 years ago, he started 28 games in the 2021-22 season for the Buffs.
All right, Keyshawn Bartholomew. He might be a pest candidate coming up here
potentially
very shortly when we get to that portion of the show. Nate Biddle, we mentioned the two big men for the Oregon Ducks, Nfale Dante and Nate Biddle, have both dealt with injury this year and have combined to play just 9 games this season, 5 for Dante, 4 for Biddle. Biddle averaging just 18 minutes since returning, but played only 12 minutes in this game against Arizona State and scored 7 points. He is still trying to work his way back into game shape.
He had practiced full this week, and so we were hoping to get him 10 to 15 minutes, just get him back on the floor, get used to being out there a little bit. But, he comes out, hits the first 3, and then tugging on his shirt and wanting out. So, but it's going to be that way for a while. But, that size, I think will help us once we get everybody on the same page. We made some communication mistakes, again, on switches that really gave up some easy baskets that I'm disappointed in, that we can get better if we can eliminate some of those, communication mistakes. So guys just going to have to keep getting better in practice, and hopefully that'll translate to the games.
And then there's Dante, one of the best, if not the best, big man in this conference. He's played 5 games since coming back from his injury, 4 games started. He did play 31 minutes against the Sun Devils, actually was second on the team in scoring with 16 points. He had 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocked shots in the ball game. Let's hear from Coach Altman on his reintegration into the lineup.
Dante, he really had offensively a very efficient game. If you take out the turnovers, he had a tremendous game. The guys are continuing to look for him. He's a really good passer. He's a willing passer. He's really looking for guys to get open, to cut. So getting him and Nate back and working them into the rotation is going to be really important for us.
Yeah, I mean, his footwork, especially in his upperclassman years, DK, has really improved. I mean, he's always had decent hands, but talk about a guy who really goes up strong around the rim. But his footwork, I've been really impressed with his footwork. And you talk about the steals. That's a big, who's almost averaging 2 steals per game. So very active.
Very active he is. Going to be fun to watch him go up against Umar Ballo today, and if Umar can be up for the challenge. All right, we'll hear more about and learn more about the Oregon Ducks coming up in our final hour of the show. We talk to James Crepia from the Oregonian. He covers these Oregon Ducks, and we'll see what he has to say about this club, which right now stands at the top of the Pac-12 conference at 6-2 and 14-5.
6-0 at home. I mean, that trip to the mountain schools, we saw it coming up. They started the season undefeated in the conference, had yet to make a really tough road trip, lost both those games. Obviously, Colorado now healthy. Utah always plays well at home, but you cannot ever count out Dana Altman on their home court. They always play tough up there in Eugene.
All right, let's find out what duck might get underneath our skin today up in Eugene.
Who is today's Pest of the Game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at BePestFree.com.
All right, Kelvin, who is your Pest of the Game?
Man, I'm going with Kuznard. I think he's a guy that shoots the 3-ball. He's gave us problems before. Kuznard, man, a tough guy, could penetrate as well. He's a guy we're really going to have to pay attention to.
Yeah, Jermaine Kuznard shooting 40% from 3 on the season, leads the Ducks in assists with 50 and leads the Ducks in that steal category as well with 35 on the season. I think I'm going to go with Kwame Evans Jr.
Good pick.
Yeah, Kwame Evans Jr., who we just heard about right there. He can do a little bit of everything. He can score for you. He'll grab some rebounds. He can dish the ball out. He can block some shots, and he can take the basketball away. He stuffs the stat sheet in every category. His blocks are second. His steals are second on the team. He leads the team in block shots, and it looks like he's about 4th or 5th in assists on the team. So
yeah, really big, good size for that wing position, for forward position as well at 6'9". So yeah, really he's tough. I'll just go straight up with the big fella Dante, because I just think, Pest, we normally think of the little guards, and Dante, when he's healthy, makes such a high impact on that Ducks team, especially if you're talking about the matchup. I don't know how much personal they have between the two bigs, both being from the same country and all that. But every time they match up, DK, it seems like N'Faly Dante takes it a little bit personally. You always got to watch out for that guy. And if he gets it going early, especially, he's the kind of guy you watch out for getting some of the Arizona bigs in foul trouble. So, yeah, I think I'll have to go with Mr. N'Faly Dante as my Pest today.
All right, Jermaine Kuznard and N'Faly Dante and Kwame Evans Jr. could be the Ducks that get underneath the Cat's skin in Eugene.
That's today's Pest of the Game. The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Visit BePestFree.com. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Car parts in Tucson? Look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet? Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at SaguaroHarley.com. That's SaguaroHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vale School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockinK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, we're 2 hours away from tip. We've got another hour with you here in Tucson before we send it up to Eugene, Oregon. Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen, Reggie Geary for the network pregame show. Coming up in this final hour, we'll have our best bets straight ahead here. Arizona 3.5-point favorite. Over under today is 158 in Eugene. We'll find out more about the Ducks in your scouting report, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. James Crepia from the Oregonian in Portland will join us. He covers the Ducks. We will also hear this hour from U of A women's basketball play-by-play man Derek Palmer. The ladies have a huge game coming up on Sunday at home against the Stanford Cardinal, who are ranked number 6 in the country.
They're always ranked.
Yeah, never are they not. Keys to the game, starting lineups, all of that is still straight ahead as we take you home on the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown, the tip-off show. Don't forget also tonight's game is brought to, or I should say this show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching this afternoon's game between the Wildcats and the Oregon Ducks. Let's find out about what's going on around this mighty conference known as the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
So if Bill makes the transition over to the new conference, is going to be the conference of truck stops, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, I don't think if he says that, I don't think he'll be making the transition.
Probably not.
I don't think Brett Yormark will be too friendly with that type of vernacular about the new home of the Arizona Wildcats. We had Friday basketball this week in the conference. The Battle of the Bay, Stanford on the road at Haas Pavilion last night against the California Golden Bears, and the Bears get the win by a score of 73-71. How about that one there over the Stanford Cardinals? So
Mad Dog.
Cal is now 4-5 in conference play.
What, they have like 2 wins last year?
Stanford is 5-4. Yeah. I mean, it's Mark Madsen getting it done there.
I stand by my statement. Cal should never be bad in basketball.
Never.
Too much talent in the Bay Area.
Yeah, too much talent in the Bay Area. You're absolutely right. All right, there are a boatload of games on the docket today. The first game of the day will tip off at 3 o'clock in Pullman, Washington, and that'll be the Colorado Buffaloes against the Cougars of Washington State. Colorado right now is alone in second place in the Pac-12 conference by virtue of their 6-3 conference record. They played 9 games. The Wildcats and the Sun Devils, who are in third place, have played just 8. So Colorado at 6-3, just a half game behind the Ducks, who are on top at 6-2. Washington State comes in at 5-4. Second game of the day will be the game that we are party to, number 9 Arizona at Oregon. The Ducks in first place. Arizona with a win could jump back into a first place tie. So we could essentially today, if all things fall right, have 4 teams tied for first place in the Pac-12 conference. Well, actually not, because Colorado is playing, so they would actually fall in or out of that. They could, they could be the team at first place if Oregon loses and Arizona State and Arizona win.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the year, a lot of people thought USC potentially, but I think Colorado right now is the scariest team. Colorado and Oregon, should I say, are the 2 scariest teams because they've just gotten healthy, right? And you talk about the firepower that the Buffs did not have last time Arizona saw them. That was a blowout when they came to Tucson. But, man, that team as a whole, now that their fancy freshmen's back in the lineup, and obviously just the Colorado Buffaloes, not a team you want to see. They're playing really well right now.
No, not at all. The third game of the day will be the game in Corvallis. That's a 5 o'clock tip-off. Arizona State and Oregon State. The Sun Devils 5-3 like the Wildcats, and Oregon State 2-6 now with their win over Arizona. At 6 o'clock, it'll be the Battle of Los Angeles at the Galen Center downtown. UCLA comes in at 3-5 in conference play. The Trojans are 2-6, and I believe the Bruins won the initial meeting of the season between these 2 rivals, and so this will be the second time around. They played earlier this year in, or did they? No, actually, my mistake. This is the first meeting of the season. I'm thinking of the girls having already played twice this year. So this will be the first meeting. They'll play again in mid-February. Also, the final game of the day will be in Seattle, and that'll be the Washington Huskies against the Utah Utes. The Utes are 5-4, so a win for them plays them right back into this mix near the top of the conference. Washington comes in at 3-6 on the year. Checking the top 25 across the country today, there are currently a few finals on the board, 2 to be exact. Number 4, Houston beats Kansas State today, 74-52. And also Marquette, number 14 in the country, has knocked off Seton Hall by a score of 75-57. Let's see if we have any games involving two ranked teams.
There is
today.
a game going on between Iowa State and Kansas.
Yes.
Iowa State did have a 10-point lead. I was just looking at the score about 2 minutes ago, but Kansas has cut that lead to 74-71 with 1 minute to go.
No shocker that the games involving ranked teams are in the Big 12 today. Yeah. Iowa State leading Kansas, like you mentioned, with about a minute 10 left to go. By now 2 points, 74-72 as they just put up another point there on the board for the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks are 4-2. Iowa State also 4-2. The other game involving two ranked teams is Big 12 as well, but with one of those teams being a departing Big 12 squad. Oklahoma, midway through the second half, is leading Texas Tech 55-54. The Sooners are ranked 11th in the country. Texas Tech is ranked 20th.
Probably home teams got a good shot in those games.
You would think. That's kind of, as we've mentioned before, the way that it is trending in the Big 12 this year. A lot of teams losing on the road, a lot of teams winning at home. How about Kentucky losing the other night in South Carolina? They stormed the court there.
Yeah.
After that win, Kentucky will be back at it today at Arkansas.
The Kentucky Wildcats probably have had more court stormed
than
against them than anybody, probably.
Yeah, probably. All right, that is a check of your scoreboard.
That's been the Pac-12 Scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
520-848-1290 is the number. If you want to get in on the program today, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Our guy Fred Scheibe checks in today. He is listening, as he always does, with his mom, Jean Smith. They are here in Tucson listening to the pregame show, and they'll be looking forward to the Cats and the Ducks. Shout out to Jean. We love you, Jean. Hang in there. Also, don't forget Wildcats Radio 1290 and Coors Light want to send you to the men's basketball tournament at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in mid-March. The grand prize, this is really nice. 2 all-session passes for all 4 days.
All session.
All session. All sessions. 2 of them. Plus $1,000 in cash cards to cover whatever you need. Your travel, if you want to fly there, if you want to, I don't think you can get a Learjet with $1,000.
Probably not.
You want to fly and use some of that money for your flights.
You could rent it and circle the airport a few times.
You're right. Maybe you want to use some of that $1,000. I know they have a lot of helicopter rides that go around the city of Las Vegas. So if you want to maybe use some of that $1,000 to do a helicopter ride in Las Vegas, you can do that. If you want to, play it at the craps table or roulette, play black. What was
Always Bet on Black?
Always Bet on Black was...
Wesley Snipes?
No, was that Wesley Snipes? I thought that was our girl, Shannon, in the morning on Kim FM said the first table she sees, she goes and plays black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do what Shannon does because she's very smart. All the details are at WildcatsRadio1290.com. Head on over to our website, sign up, read the rules, and have a chance to go to the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament, the final one, March 13th to the 16th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 all-session passes, $1,000 in cash cards. Good luck from Coors Light and Wildcats Radio 1290.
Click on here. Don't click on click.
Exactly. Click on here. Don't click on click. We had some issues with that yesterday. All right, let's find out if we can win some money on this game today.
Tucson, what are some of today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Kelvin, what do you think the Wildcats need to do to win today? They minus 3.5 over under 158.
Man, this is a tough one today, man. I'm gonna take Oregon. As far as so that's I'm gonna take the points
plus 3.5. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that on that one. And then 151.
158.
158 over.
Over.
Yeah.
All right, I'm running from this game. I'm running from this game as well. I'm going to take Oregon and the 3.5 points. The Wildcats have to prove some stuff to me on the road. And it's interesting. It's a little bit higher line than we had the other night at 158. It's about 9 higher. But these are two teams, and you just heard Dana Altman say, if this game gets into the 80s for Arizona, we could be in trouble. But this is also an Oregon team that is not necessarily one of the better defensive teams. In the Pac-12. So I'm going to take the over on that as well.
Well, you think with their depth, you're talking about a team that's 1-5 if they allow their opponents to score over 80. That's a big talking point that Coach Altman's had all year. So yeah, I think you got to have the depth come in and ugly it up a little bit against that Arizona team and pressure defense. Kelvin said it earlier. They like to switch it up. Altman's always got a bunch of different styles of defense to try to keep the offense off balance. So I would say under, and I think the Cats win today. And I will say they win by 2 points. So they do not cover. 3.5, you said?
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, I think the Cats do pull out a win today for the first time in a minute up there in Eugene, but not by more. I think it's going to be a very close game. They win by 2.
All right, so everybody is taking Oregon and the 3.5, although J-Dub believes that the Wildcats will win. I'm not so sure that they're going to win this game today. Calvin and I are going to go over the 158, and J-Dub is going to take under the 158. Right now, through 19 games, in which the Wildcats are 14-5, J-Dub and I are on top at 23-15. Calvin is 3 games behind at 20-18. So we will potentially have a chance to gain maybe a game back on J-Dub today.
Get it.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, coming up, we are going to hear more about the team that the Wildcats are going to play today, the Oregon Ducks. We're going to chat with James Crepia from the Oregonian, which is the newspaper in Portland that covers this program. Ducks this season come in with a record of 14-5. They are 6-2. Their 5 losses are to Santa Clara, Adama Ball and Company. Got them 88-82. They lost to Alabama, so there's a common opponent there, which the Wildcats beat Alabama. They lost to Syracuse by 20 earlier this year, and that game was on the road. And then they had the back-to-back losses, which they suffered last weekend at the Rocky Mountain Schools, falling 86-70 at Colorado, and then losing by 3, 80-77 at Utah. Let's see. Big wins they've got this year. They beat Georgia, a Power 5 team. They knocked off Michigan in overtime, and those were their main non-conference. Not necessarily the difficult non-conference schedule that the Wildcats put out there today. But, again, they are the team that's sitting in first place right now.
Yeah, and they've obviously had a lot of injury issues as well throughout that. So grain of salt type of situation with especially the loss to Syracuse. You know, you wonder about if they had Dante, might be a little bit different.
It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show, along with J.W. Madden and Calvin Ifan. I'm David Kelly. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans, and they now accept patients with access insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy. My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
With the new year, we usually make resolutions to be healthier. Water quality in your home can help you achieve healthy living goals. I'm Ron Arenas with Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We offer solutions to filter the water in your house that you drink, shower, and cook with every day. For clean and healthy water, call 520-440-4069.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. Our 1290 scouting report is brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double.
All right, let's take a closer look at today's opponent, the Oregon Ducks. Pleased to be joined by the beat writer from the Oregonian, James Crepia, joining us. He's been on the beat for 6 years, covering the Ducks, who are in first place in the Pac-12 conference. I'll start with this, James. Is this a surprise to you that Oregon is in first place going into this game today?
No, not at all, really. Look, I know that this team dealt with some injuries throughout non-conference play and has just gotten back to being as close to fully healthy as they can be. They did have one season-ending injury, but with the exception of that, they're basically as healthy as they can be at this point. I know Mookie Cook's still dealing with some things, but truly, they were expected to be a deeper team and a better team than they have been for the past couple of years when they ended up in the NIT. And they are a deeper and better team with talent that's really experienced and with talent from true freshmen. And they still have to work out some kinks. They're not a finished product by any means, but for this team to have been capable of weathering the storm that was a barrage of injuries and non-conference play, quite honestly, based on the schedule that they had, they basically took care of business. And yeah, credit to them for weathering it, but it wasn't the most daunting non-conference schedule. It wasn't easy either. With the exception of really kind of laying an egg against Syracuse, and that's the one game that Dana Altman will probably drive him crazy the whole season that they played the way they did in that. But with the exception of that, they really, held their own more than enough and were able to put themselves in position to where once they got healthy, which is starting to happen, that they'd be in position to be competitive in the Pac-12. So, if you go before the injuries, is it surprising that they're in first place or vying for it in mid-January? No. Even amid the injuries and after it, no, quite honestly, because they were supposed to be a deeper and better team, and they've proven to be.
What is it about, I guess, kind of the way that Dana Altman builds these teams annually that kind of allows or that has allowed Oregon to be a team that stays at the top of this now departing conference over the course of the last 7, 8, 10 years?
Well, I think it's been a little bit of a different answer each time because, ultimately, you need really good players, particularly at the guard position. And that's been a consistent theme, I will say that. Going back to, years ago, going back to years where they didn't even necessarily have NBA caliber talent, in the earlier years of his tenure at Oregon. But you go back to, even the 18-19 season where for most of the season it was pretty rough. But then they caught fire at the end and started to really make, everything hit on all cylinders to where a team that if you look back at the roster and you go, well, it was a team that kind of underperformed early on and was really disjointed, and then Bol got hurt. But you did have that Peyton Pritchard guy. He was pretty good. And Lewis King was a freshman, and he's gone on to play a little bit in the NBA. And Kenny Wooten's been in and around the NBA and the G League and stuff. And you go, well, it may not have necessarily been the most talented team in college basketball, but it probably, particularly in not a particularly good year of the Pac-12 that year, probably could have and should have done a little bit better than it did during the season. But the fact that it caught fire and came together, it's like, well, yeah, they were pretty talented in the end, now weren't they? Now, the last couple of years, that team, that idea of, well, it's the Dana Altman Oregon team, they'll just put it all together in late February or March and catch fire, that ignition hasn't lit the last couple of years. Last season was overwhelmingly due to injury. There were games where, there were non-conference games, they were down to 5 or even 4 healthy scholarship players. That's been part of it. But they've gotten better guard play, particularly this season. But what's been kind of the commonality in the theme and what's the way it's built? Well, really good players. And the core identity of this program, regardless of whether it had elite talent or it just had a bunch of guys who just played really, really hard, is that they play hard. They play hard, particularly on the defensive end. That's the part that this team, though it has been top to bottom deeper and more talented than the past 2 years' rosters, they haven't had the defensive cohesiveness and effort and tenacity, and certainly not the analytics and performance yet. And that's the part that they really still have to make strides on if they're going to be not just a team who vies for a regular season or conference tournament title, but if they're going to make it into the tournament or to do any damage in it, they cannot be playing defensively at the level that they are. And that's been what's upset Dana about this team, even as it starts to get healthier, is that, you can pull up any of the audio clips the last couple of weeks because he's been a broken record about it. It's not anything new. Hey, when they allow 80 points, doesn't turn out very well.
So then how do
you... 1-5 when this year in regulation when they allow 80, and that's something that drives him crazy because his teams, generally speaking, do not allow that to happen.
Okay, so then how do they hold a team like Arizona that scores close to 90 points a game? How do they stop that type of offense?
Well, I think it's twofold. I think one, now especially as the bigs have gotten healthy, now that N'Faly Dante's been back for a couple of weekends, and now that Nate Biddle's back in the lineup, as we saw against ASU, albeit, he's not going to be at full, either full strength or full capacity in terms of minutes just yet, but stylistically, what this team was against ASU or is going to be against Arizona or is going to be the next several weeks, certainly the rest of the season, they hope, is nothing like what we saw really for nearly all of non-conference play, because Dante only played the season opener before coming back for the last 3-4 games now. Biddle played the first 2.5 games, and then he got hurt and just came back. Those are two 6'11" and 7-foot guys they've only played together 2 games this season. So how do you try to project and analyze, like, how does this team look with those 2 guys together, where they won both the games this season that they've played together? There's a very small sample. But how does this team look with those 2, where in terms of inside presence and rim protection, you can't begin to even analyze what they could do or will do compared to what they were doing without either one of them on the court, and playing a guy in a transfer in Mo Diawara, who was coming from Stetson, and he puts up some nice numbers at that level, but he was supposed to be a rotational center who basically filled in 3 to 5 minutes a night, maybe 7 at the most. That guy way has overperformed, but because of, they had to trot him out there for 25, 30 minutes a night for a dozen games. And they more than held their own in that sense. And I'm not putting all their defensive issues on the inside, but I'm saying, like, how do you slow down a team who wants to do that offensively? Well, one, you have some rim protection. That's one part. And then on the other side is how they handle things offensively with those guys. When you play through the inside, as they did at times last year, particularly with Dante, but complement it better this year with better guard play and better three-point shooting, that's how you do it. You play stylistically different. You play at a little bit more deliberate pace offensively with inside-out passing, and passing to where you can create some opportunities for the bigs. And when they play the 2 bigs together, it makes it really hard for the other defense to double Dante. Well, you just play some longer possessions in order to do that. So how do you try and slow down a team who scores a whole lot of points? Twofold. One, play a little bit slower offensively, not merely possession style. They're not going to run the Princeton offense or something, but a little bit more deliberate with quality passing and quality shooting. And on the other side, to have some inside presence to make it really challenging for the high probability, inside the paint kind of shots and dunks.
James Crepia is our guest. He covers the Oregon Ducks for the Oregonian. It is your scouting report for today, brought to you by none other than Ram Plumbing. If your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. James, we talked about the injuries that they've had. Obviously, Nate Biddle was out for an extended period, and N'Faly Dante was out for an extended period. But he still seems like Dane Alton. He's juggled some guys into the starting lineup. He's had 10 different guys start games. Was that largely as a result of the injuries? Was he also still looking for the right pieces to go? And what did the guys that had a chance to kind of fill in when Dante and Biddle were out? Who were those guys, and what were they able to get out of that being in that starting lineup?
Yeah, so some of it was overwhelmingly it was due to the injuries. To be clear, as I say, Dante was at the very beginning, then he was out for a dozen plus games, really all of non-conference play, and then the first couple of games of conference play. Biddle 3 games, and then up until just this past one. So again, also about nearly 15 games for him, 9 weeks being out. So that was a big part of it on the inside. And as a result, like I mentioned Diawara before, guys was supposed to be a rotational center and is very much moving back to that role. In terms of production, you can't say like a guy who's coming from playing at Stetson and averaging what he did there, what he was supposed to do here.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be in a rotational capacity, be fair. So some of who they had to turn to, they also opened the season without Jackson Shellstat for a few games. And then he's been in the starting lineup ever since. Now, since Dante's been back, Shellstad's production and scoring has dropped the last 3 games. Now, it's really simple to say, well, merely because they're playing differently and going more through the big, then their point guard's going to do less. I think it's a little bit more to it than that, quite honestly, because it's not only the scoring that Shellstad's had a little bit of trouble with. I think it's, hey, this is conference play now, and these are opponents who know the system, and these are opponents who have more tape to go off of and have more time to go over it necessarily than some non-conference opponents. And I think the book's out a little bit on a true freshman who's really talented and is more than capable of handling himself, but is facing some different challenges than maybe he faced at times in non-conference play. So who have they turned to? They had to turn to some freshmen. Shellstad's one. He's still going to be in the starting lineup. They turned to another talented freshman in Kwame Evans Jr. He started. He's now not been in the starting lineup the past couple of games. Don't think he probably will be. And quite honestly, if you have a top 40 caliber recruit from a year ago as a true freshman who can come off the bench and has been a starter and is capable of paying 20 plus minutes a night for you, who cares if he comes off the bench, quite frankly? If that's the role that he's best fit out for, well, okay. They still have really experienced guys, like I say, Dante and Biddle, now that they're back, but the 60-year guard in Jermaine Couisnard, who's been the constant. And if this team is, again, going to not just contend and push Arizona and for a win on this Saturday, but to contend the rest of the way, it's going to be up to Dante on the inside and Couisnard on the outside. Couisnard's been the constant the whole season, but he was a guy who, go back a year ago, he was dealing with injuries a year ago. He missed the first half of the season due to an injury last year. Well, he's been the constant this year. And he brings a presence on both ends of the court. He's the guy who experienced a big part of it, but he's a good three-point shooter. He's a steady free throw shooter. He's got a tenacity and game IQ that helps on the defensive end, and an energy that helps on the offensive end. Like I said, he really is he's the straw that stirs the drink of this team on all ends of the court in terms of that just constant presence. Dante's enormous, figuratively and literally, but those two combined that's what drove them to pull away from Arizona State and took over the game in that one in the second half. And that's going to be, who they're going to lean on most is those two players, not just against Arizona, but like I say, really the rest of the season.
Dante and Biddle, do they play together at all or out there on the court?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they started against ASU. Again, Biddle only played about 12 minutes against ASU the other night, but that's just because he's just coming back from this injury.
Right.
But at full bore, as he gets more and more reacclimated, and as the wrist starts feeling better, they have played together. They will play together. And again, stylistically, I think that's kind of the plan, the vision, the goal is to play those two guys together. And that helps, again, also not just help on the rebounding edge of things, which they need to improve on, but it mainly helps in that they're trying to free up Dante. They're trying to make it where defenses can't just double team him. And it doesn't just mean, you have to have great three-point shooting and great guards to do it. Yeah, sure, yes. But, they're not only looking at one solution to doing that. They're trying to create another inside presence so that if anybody in the lane or anybody else chooses to help out and try to double team Dante, well, then you've got another 7-footer, mere feet away, so he doesn't have to throw the longer pass to the outside. He can make a short pass or even a high pass to another very, very tall man who's more than capable of dunking and everything else. So they have played together. They will play together. And like I say, that's twofold, a twofold solution to try and not be a one-team answer to every opposing defense who tries to double team and volley Dante. We saw that from Arizona State.
Yeah.
Just the other night, we saw that, and again, I guarantee we'll see it from Arizona. We'll see it from every team the rest of the way. He is their all-conference player. He is that good. And look, like many of the big man, not the greatest of ball handlers when there's a whole lot of pressure out there. He does as best as he can, but you throw really good defensive teams in there, and then ASU is one of them. Arizona's one of them. Hey, that's part of it. But yeah, they'll play the two bigs together.
And do you think he's an NBA guy, long-term NBA guy? Dante,
we're talking about? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, he's got that ability. He's got that prowess. I think he's got that work ethic, quite honestly. I'd say, again, finished product. No, don't get me wrong. Like there's plenty of things he can round out his game. There is. But do I think he's an NBA player? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think he's an NBA big, and I think just the way he plays, the effort that he brings. And again, you're not just talking about a big who it's all one-dimensional. It just leans only on his size. No, I mean, look at his footwork around the hoop on both ends. Look at the way that he makes moves now around the basket. This isn't just a big who's cleaning up offensive rebounds and little bunnies. This is a big who's starting to move with real grace and poise and power. That's, to me, what you need if you're going to play at the next level. If you just want to put up a whole bunch of empty calorie rebounds and second chance points, you can do that in college basketball, certainly. He's not doing it the easy way. This is a fifth-year guy, and he's showing it.
Well, we're looking forward to the battle of the Malian big men in Feli Dante and Umar Ballo. It's going to be fun to watch today at the Matthew Knight Arena. Hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us today, James, and getting us all keyed up and what to know about the Oregon Ducks.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That's today's 1290 Scouting Report, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This summer, savings is the ultimate drive.
The road has been long, and now you're here. One incredible family.
You've saved so many families so much. I want that opportunity.
Savings and Selection 100, now playing at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Go to O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or test drive one on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we're getting you set for the Wildcats and the Oregon Ducks. Tip-off at 3:30 up in Eugene, Oregon. Last night here in Tucson, Arizona women's basketball got a win. 66-55 over the California Golden Bears. We talked to Charlie Turner Thorne a little bit earlier about that game, and we are joined now by the man that calls the games for the ladies. You'll hear tomorrow's game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Derek Palmer joins us. Derek, I understand that you're just coming out of the movies today.
I sadly haven't been able to make it yet. My lousy kids had basketball and winter formal stuff that they had to do. So
okay.
I'm on their schedule. Yeah.
But so what are you guys going to go see today?
American Fiction.
Okay. Well, now what's that about? I'm not familiar. I'm not a movie person.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, this one looks like it's a bit of a satirical analysis on race relations.
Oh, okay. Serious stuff. All right. I like that. Yeah. Very good. All right. Win last night. Well, what was it like to kind of get back home after 2 really long road trips? I mean, you've been around a long time. Has there ever been a road trip like that before where you had to go back up to the Northwest twice?
No. There's been at least one time when they had to go on the road 4 straight, but I think that was the first year of the Pac-12, and it was not to the Pacific Northwest in successive weeks. That was, in one word, obnoxious. If I had to use a second, it was exhausting as well.
So, like, from your standpoint, I guess, what do you notice? Like, what do you notice from the players, just maybe how they're kind of interacting during their workouts, during games? Do you see that? Do you see that it's wearing on them, that type of travel?
It seems like you see it more in the morning because there's this bus rides. The other hard thing about that trip is there's an extra bus and or plane ride.
Yeah.
That is a little bit lengthy. So you'll notice it more in the morning. And the reason why I emphasize that is because the Sunday games are so early. So if you can notice them looking like they're having a little bit of a hard time of shaking ready, it stands to reason that by the time that they get to the arena on Saturday or Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit of a slug. But that wasn't the case against Washington State. They came out playing dynamite. It just looked like they eventually totally ran out of gas.
And then tomorrow you get the Stanford Cardinal. Last night, California without Kaylin Gilbert. What's the prospect there? Do we anticipate she might play tomorrow?
Barnes said that she could have come in yesterday. She spent the whole game with some electrical stimulation on her lower back.
Ugh.
So, I'm assuming if she could have come in yesterday that she has the potential to be available tomorrow, but I'll find that out with everybody else tomorrow.
What was most surprising to you about the way they handled themselves without her?
I think the way that they were able to really lock up a really good scorer in Cremili with Cal, who she got 20 shots up. I kept emphasizing this yesterday, but she got 20 shots up against Oregon. And Oregon, of course, primarily plays a zone, and she likes to shoot the 3. But I think of her 20 shots, 14 of them were 3-pointers. And she wound up only getting 7 looks at the basket, and some of those were really awful. So especially Pueo was just able to hound her into all sorts of unflattering shooting positions. and never really gave her a chance to start to get loose. So the way that they were able not just to defend her, though, they locked up just about every primary scorer that Cal had. The difference between the two halves, Cal had some of their others that were knocking down shots in the first half, and in the second half, everybody was just getting bullied.
Never easy when a freshman has to come in and start a game, but we've obviously had two freshmen that have played pretty much the entire season in that role. Now Skylar Jones got her opportunity with the injury to Kaylin Gilbert, and she seemed really excited to kind of be out there with her fellow classmates in Jada Williams and Brea Cunningham.
Yeah, and the shot in the arm that she gives on the defensive end is something to watch. She had one turnover I think it was in the second quarter, maybe the third, when the game was really kind of hanging in the balance, where she jumped into a passing lane on an inbounds play and had not only caught Cal off guard doing that, but then turned and slung it back into play when she was falling out of bounds. And it all happened so quickly, it was actually Cremigli again, who was kind of just standing there watching as this thing fired off of her shins and out of bounds. So she didn't get credited for the steal, but just gave us an idea about her length and quickness and how disruptive it could be. So she is starting to really find a niche, especially on the defensive side.
Derek Palmer is our guest. He is the broadcaster for the Arizona women's basketball games here on the Learfield network, and you'll hear that game against Stanford tomorrow. We mentioned Kaylin Gilbert might not play, could play, might be limited. Derek, what are you hearing in terms of Cameron Brink, who's been dealing with an injury for Stanford, one of the marquee players in women's college basketball? Are fans going to get a chance to see her tomorrow, do you believe?
She had a double-double yesterday.
Well, she's back.
So if she's playing injured, I wish I could be that injured. But yeah, I think it was 20 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. Punching the clock. She's given the Cats a lot of trouble over the years. The last time that they faced her, they were able to get her into some foul trouble, and it looked like she, on the offensive side, wasn't able to really get into a rhythm. But the greater concern for me going in is, you assume that players like her are going to make their impact, but the attention that they draw, it really creates a lot of opportunities for someone like Hannah Jump, who primarily just takes 3-pointers, or at least against Arizona. Almost all of the shots that she's taken in her career against the Cats have been beyond the 3-point line. So if you have a series of freshmen that are trying to defend somebody as cagey as Brink, and it's probably going to require some help coming off of her, it could allow for a lot of open looks from the outside for somebody like Jump.
Yeah, it's just an all-name team when you talk about the Stanford Cardinal. Have you ever had an audience with Tara Vanderveer just to kind of get down and talk with her at all, talk basketball at length with her?
I was walking out of Maples last year, and I got to talk to her for the first time, and it was totally her doing. She saw my the block A on it, and just started talking to me about how she thought the game went, and how she thought that Barnes should feel pretty good about it. And then we complained to each other about the scheduling, because remember last year Arizona had to start with 3 games on the road in 5 days, and Stanford at some point was going to endure something similar, and she was pretty outspoken about how she disliked all of that. So she's an incredibly down-to-earth person. She's such a great ambassador for the women's game. It's so supportive of all the coaches, men or women, advocates for them in just about every way that she can. And it was really neat to see her go ahead and supplant a certain other individual who has apparently a town named after him in Oregon.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I found it interesting this week when Adia said that she calls her up and scolds her sometimes when Adia kind of goes off the rails, which was kind of funny. Hey, Derek, appreciate you. Have a great call tomorrow. He'll have it right here with tip-off right after noon.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Derek Palmer, he is the play-by-play man for the Arizona women's basketball team. Let's give you our keys to Arizona and Oregon.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
Kelvin, what do you think the Wildcats need to do to win today?
I think they need to guard the three-point line. I think Oregon is a team that shoots threes. They love to get them up. They made 9 last game out. I think you really need to get into these guys and force them to put the ball on the floor and make them shoot pull-ups. Secondly, I think it's going to be important for Johnson to really step up. He's a guy that has experience, and I think that he can get it done. I think we need 15 or more points out of him. And then the last one is I want to see the guards stay aggressive. Not necessarily hunter shots, but Boswell has to stay aggressive, and it's the same for Bradley when he comes in the game. The guys have to look for their shot because it opens up other passing opportunities.
And it's going to be you now, Mr. JW.
Number one, impose your will in the paint. I think you got to go inside early often. I think their guards in particular need to put pressure on the rim and also obviously feed ball low. Number two, talked about it a lot. You got to finish defensive possessions. Just stay locked in for all 35 seconds of that shot clock. And number three, I want to see the guys let it fly. The guys, Boswell and KJ in particular, who haven't been shooting the ball well from the outside. Stay confident. Go get that shot. Don't pass up good looks created by the offense. Shoot those balls with confidence. Those are keys for me.
Well, and I'm going to stay with you on the defensive side of the ball in terms of playing through the shot clock. I think another thing in that is communication. I think these guys maybe need to talk a little bit more. If one guy sees another guy out of position, let's verbalize that and get him back in position and talk more to each other. I think a lot of times when we hear it so much in football, the defense is about communication, and you've got to be able to communicate. And I think maybe that points back also to the whole thing that Kelvin was talking about and has talked about all season about them not really knowing each other that well. They need to be able to talk out there defensively to help shore up some of these things that we're seeing at that end of the floor. And I just think, I mentioned it in the last segment, this is not the greatest defensive team, so I think you need to just put the pressure on them at the offensive end of the floor. Make them try to chase you in this ball game. As Dana said, we don't want it to get into the 80s. Well, we need to put this game into the 80s and close to 90s to get that win tonight. And I will implore Tommy Lloyd yet again, please, 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 please do something to get Kylan Boswell involved early. Script him 3 plays right out of the gate to see if we can get that kid going on the road offensively. Please, 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 please.
That's a lot of pleases.
Wildcats fans, that's our keys to the game. Brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The foundation of a great college basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Starting lineup for your Arizona Wildcats: at one guard, Kylan Boswell, 6'2", sophomore out of Champaign, 71 assists on the season. Caleb Love, 6'4", senior out of St. Louis, averaging 24 points on the road in Pac-12 play. Pelle Larsson, 6'5", senior out of Sweden, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on the road in Pac-12 play. Keyshawn Johnson at forward, 6'7", out of Oakland, has career highs this year in field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and free throw percentage. The man in the middle, Umar Balo, 7-foot redshirt senior out of Mali. He's got 6 double-doubles in Pac-12 play. That is second in the conference. He'll need one tonight for Arizona to win. That's going to wrap up our coverage. Coming up next, it's number 9 Arizona and Oregon. Can the Wildcats end their 6-game losing streak in Eugene? Find out. For Kelvin Efon, JW Madden, I'm David Kelly. This is the Countdown to Tip-Off Show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Bear down, Arizona.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com. Realty.com.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Presentation of the Arizona Sports Network.
The 1997 national champions, your Arizona Wildcats.
The future is bright, but the present is now.
Cats on the run. They've got numbers. Larson, jam it home. Comes inside. Paulo turns, lay it up. Good, and he's fouled. Poswell on the run. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 to Larson, and Pilla slams it home.
Let it rip. I mean, that's our theme. We're going to go there. We're not going to be conservative.